ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Woohoo! Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to ChatRoom with Max. Today, it's been a wonderful week. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing so good. I'm doing well.
You're doing well. Good.
It's rainy today.
I know, man.
Weather is so funny.
It is.
It's too wet.
Yeah, but it's a good thing because the topic we have today will be heated up to make you yeah. So we're not gonna waste too much time today because we have a lot to talk about today.
Yes.
And I just want you to sit tight, enjoy the show as we talk about this. But just for some few house rules. Please, if you're watching this after the show when it's been aired live, don't forget to share, don't forget to like, and don't forget to subscribe to where you will be watching this from. And then please, if you're watching this right now, just do us a favor to let us know where you're watching from, who you are, like your name, where you're watching from, and like and subscribe as well, because it's important that we share this.
Love and sharing.
Yeah, there's love and sharing. So like we always do, guys, like we always do. Don't forget to like where you're watching this from. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Do not forget to hit that notification tab so you know just whenever we're on. And lastly, don't forget to share. Share. Because
there's love in sharing and caring is loving.
Okay.
You heard what he said. Again.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
You look like a doctor.
Your glasses is born again against. You look like a superstar. So yes, people.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And remember to share. We're waiting for you to share. So just click the share button, and your comments are very, very important. So we know that you are there with us, and let us know where you're watching from.
Yep. So I'm going to be bringing in our special guest. But before I bring in our special guest, I'm going to be bringing in one of our very own, one and only. Where's the audience? Audience, are you ready?
You can put your hands together.
One and only, Stanley! All the way from Georgia.
How are you, everybody? How you guys doing? It's good to be here today. Missed you guys last week.
Yeah. We miss you too.
We miss you too. It's good to see you back.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Welcome. Yes. So how was your week, sir?
It was great. It was good. Thank God.
Perfect. So I'm sure you already have a hint of what today's topic
is. I saw it.
You already know.
All right. So people, I'm just going to let you know what the topic is today before we bring in the guy that would break a lot of tables. I'm very, very sure some of you would like what he will say. Some of you will not like what he will say, but we definitely know we're going to like what he will say.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we know.
Yeah.
You know.
The way Stanley is laughing. The way Stanley is laughing. I don't think Stanley will like what he will say, but let's see. So if you're just joining in again, please share this. We want to see these numbers here go up really, really high. So like 100 people. So I'm sure you have over 200 people on your contact list on your phone. Share it to everybody, okay? All right. So ladies and gentlemen, introducing the one and only Dan. This guy, a lot of people have been asking me, like, where did you get him from? I got him from the streets of TikTok. This guy, he has had multiple accounts. TikTok, I've blocked majority of them because people have been reporting him, Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome the one, the only, Dan.
Yeah. The controversial man is in the building.
Howdy, you guys. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm really happy to be here. I've actually been looking forward to this. I watched a couple of your shows, loved them.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you invited me to come have a chat with you.
Thank you very much, sir. We are actually glad that you're here.
Oh, yeah. I'm so happy that you're here. We're looking forward to you helping us out because you stand for our ministry.
If you say so, sure.
I'm sure there's something saying ministry because today's topic has a way of sliding towards the men's department.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, now, wait a minute. Now, if we're being honest, I do speak mostly about men's issues.
Mm.
Reality is the issues that I talk about for the most part affect men and women pretty much equally.
Mm.
So a lot of people have that misnomer that someone who speaks out on men's issues only cares about men or only cares about those particular things. But when you look at the issues, and this
Yeah.
is something I talk about often and a lot of people don't understand, the same vice versa.
Yeah.
Got you.
So there's a famous saying that I think I invented, but I'm sure somebody else did,
Okay.
that we're more the same than we are different.
Hmm.
And I truly believe that. So when I'm speaking about and raising issue or awareness on men's issues, reality is I hear, and we kind of talked about this off air, I hear from a lot of women going, you know, we have the same issues and I'm glad you're speaking up. So be that as it may, fire away. Let's have some fun.
Oh
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
you're welcome to the show, and we're so glad to have you. And we're looking forward to everything that you have to see. You have to make sure you pour it all out, because this is a very good platform too. Because like what in this our platform, we are fearless. You know, we are careless.
Well, I will tell you,
I'm careful.
I'm not. I had someone tell me many years ago that I'm stupid fearless. Like
Oh wow.
times I should be fearful, I'm not. And I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. They kind of meant it down the middle.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
you know,
So Dan,
go ahead.
can you just let the audience know a little bit about who you are, what you do, and you know, your social media handles, because we want everybody to get to know you better.
Yeah, so just on a personal note, I'm 60 years old. I've been done a wide-ranging amount of things in my life. For the most part, though, in the last few years, as a business, I ran a gym. I actually just divested myself from that. But the other thing that I've more recently got back into is being an advocate for men and speaking about men's issues. I actually started doing that back in the mid 90s when I went through my first divorce. It got heavily involved with it for about 15, 16 years. And then, to be blunt, I burnt out. I had to take a break and I walked away for about 10 years, a little bit less than that. And then when the pandemic hit, I had a little time on my hands because gyms were closed, and started getting back in and speaking out on various issues that affect men and boys. And from there, it's kind of taken off. You know, I'm on multiple social medias. I do have a podcast that I run on YouTube and Spotify called Men Need to Be Heard. It's the handle I go by. That podcast, wide range of men's issues. And we talk about everything from dealing with family court, divorce, to educational issues for boys and things like that. And then I also have my now fourth account on TikTok because I've been banned 3 times, which is Men Need to Be Heard 3. And then I'm on Twitter, Instagram. I can't forget. There's so many of them. I forget them all at this point. But they're all, look for Men Need to Be Heard. You'll find me.
Yeah. Wow. So men need to be heard. That's where to find Dan. Men needs to be heard.
Yep.
That's where you're gonna find Dan. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dan.
You should add this to it because we have feelings too.
We do have feelings.
Men have feelings too. Okay.
We have them. We just don't share them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. All right. So, for those of you that are just joining in again, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Just type where you're watching from and your name so we can, you know, say hi to you. And please don't forget to like where you're watching this from. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Do not forget to hit that notification tab so you know just whenever we're on. And lastly, don't forget to share.
Share, because it's love and sharing. Sharing is caring. Caring is good.
All right, let's keep going with the show.
If I could just interject on something, I love that you're asking people where they're from. It's something I do when I'm doing my lives.
Yeah.
And what's amazing is the issues that I talk about, people think it's just the US or just the UK or Western countries. I actually tracked it about a month ago over the course of July. I had people from over 100 different countries
Whoa.
comment.
Whoa.
So, and they all say the same thing. So the issues that we talk about are not just unique to the US or Britain or France or Australia. I've had people from, well, just this past week, I had people from Romania,
Wow.
New Zealand, the Middle East, multiple countries in Africa.
Yeah.
And I just love that. That's, you know, the internet has a lot of bad to it, but it has a lot of good to it. And one of the things that I love about it is that people from all walks of life, countries across this whole globe, we can come together, have a chat, and get to know one another. And does it get any better than that? So I always ask my listeners to let me know where they're from.
Where they're watching from. Yeah, exactly. So please, you've heard that. Let's know where you're watching from, okay? So we can, know where you're watching from and say hi to you. Okay. So let's take some few comments before we dive in. We have Uzovik in the house, everybody. He says, hi, y'all. Okay, Uzo is speaking, y'all. Okay, Uzo, we see you. We see you. It's like, hi, y'all. Good to see you guys. Very interesting topic today. Let's dig in. All right. He's ready for the gist already. Okay. Healthy Jessie Chops. A very good TikToker. She's on the show. She says, good evening from Nigeria. Jessie watching from her sitting room. Okay. We have Levy's Kitchen in the house, everybody. Levy's Kitchen says, hello, man of God. Olivia from Boston. Good to see you all. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Good to have you back. It's been a while, by the way. Yeah, you're going to have to pay us back taxes, okay? Maternity leave since she gave birth about 3 years ago. She's yeah. I know. All right. So I want us to before we start, I want us to play a video first of all, and then we'll dive right in. It's Pretty Annie is here, everybody. She says, hi, you already. Okay, you already know your girl Pretty Annie all the way from Boston.
Oh,
yes.
Pretty Annie in the building.
Pretty Annie in the building,
Yes.
like in the building.
She's pretty too.
Yeah, so let's go. I don't know how that information, is important to us right now, but we'll just take it. All right, so we're gonna play a video, right? And I want us to just watch this video, think about it before we begin to talk to Dan with Dan, because it's very important that we do this together. So let's see the
engineer.
That men don't actually want relationships. Like, men want their lives as is.
And guess what? You'd be 100% correct in assuming that, because we're done. We're walking away. You see, we've adopted what women have been preaching for the last 50 years. We don't need women. We can take care of ourselves. There's nothing to be gained by being in a relationship. So after 50 years of hearing that used against us, now we've adopted it. And all of a sudden you're upset about it. I'm not sure why. We're just simply following your lead. You got what you wanted. Let's enjoy it.
All right.
Yeah, that's the video. I think it is. It's got well over 1.5 million views on it.
I tell you, man.
Yeah, more than a half. Yeah, more than 1.5 million views.
He goes straight to the point. He's just like hit it on the nail, hit nail on the head, straight to the point. Hey, you bring the fight to us, and then we take it the way it is.
If you want to be entertained, right? You're sitting down, you want to be entertained, just go to dance TikTok. You will be entertained back to back. Yes. So let's take this comment before we continue. Livy's Kitchen says yes. So you know, and I know, and I miss your send my bill to me. I've got it covered.
Oh.
You send the bill to us in the check, no problem. In the mail, we'll take that.
Got it.
All right. So please, the numbers are going up. Let's keep sharing so the numbers will come up to like 150 views. Right now, we're at 20 something. Just keep sharing so we go up to 150 views. Okay. Thank you. Share to all the contacts on your WhatsApp.
Yeah.
On your text messages is important. All the
we
people
have Dan here. We have Dan.
Yeah. So, Dan.
Yes, sir.
My first question for you is men and relationship. Let's start from relationships before we go into marriages.
Mm-hmm.
So, men and relationships. Why is it that these days you have more men being hesitant to go into a committed relationship that would lead into marriage?
You know, it's a sad situation, isn't it?
Mm,
It really bothers me that we've reached this point. The why is, and I talk about this often on my various videos. The why is that men, and I've talked with tens of thousands of men. Men don't see the value in it anymore. It's You have to understand, and I know you guys do, but if the audience is listening, men think differently than women.
mm,
Men think, and I don't mean this in any way negative or derogatory towards women, but men think logically, right?
mm,
Women think more emotionally. That's how we're biologically programmed. There's nothing wrong with either. The issue has become that men are assessing relationships, whether it's dating all the way up to marriage, and
mm.
saying, all right, if I invest whatever time, money, however you want to put it, what am I going to get in return? And the answer they're getting right now, and I've heard this again from literally tens of thousands of men, is I'm not going to get anything in return. So why bother? That, in a nutshell, is really why we're at where we're at.
Mm, mm.
True
Wow.
statement. To a certain extent, I do think it is. We've reached in our society, and I mean this globally, not just the US, but in our society, we've reached a point where we're focused more on individualism, I think.
Mm,
What's in it for me? And I don't say that that's a horrible thing, but we've lost that interpersonal connection with each other. And I think that got exacerbated by the pandemic, where we all got isolated worldwide. And I think that's a large reason, all of those things combined, why men are just not as interested in dating, relationships, marriage, in any way at this point.
wow. Wow.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Sunshine.
My question would be, what is your advice? What would be your advice for the men?
Well, let me first state this. I'm very pro marriage. You can get up off the floor now. I probably just shocked all your listeners because I'm an advocate for men's issues, but I'm very pro marriage. I think that we need to be in relationships. I think men benefit from them, women benefit from them,
Mm,
society and the world benefits from them. And that's been proven over literally millennia, right?
yep.
We wouldn't be here right now if we didn't benefit from coming together in marriage, right? um Having said all that, my advice to men right now, at eh, I say this somewhat tongue in cheek, but I'm it's more and more serious, is walk away from marriage right now. Primarily I'm focused on the US with that because the laws don't help men, right?
Mm,
Mm.
And I hear the horror stories. In fact, on my podcast today that went up earlier this morning,
yeah.
I had Jim Sisko, who's a decorated US Navy and Marine veteran, did amazing things serving our country. He had his children taken away from him by a family
Whoa.
judge.
Whoa.
Mm.
And I don't want to get too deep into his story, but think about that. Here's a decorated veteran. This is a
Yeah.
stand-up guy who did nothing wrong, who actually had custody from his children when his wife initially left, and it ended up in family court. And now he sees them by Skype for 30 minutes once a week. He's not even getting
Whoa.
that doing that, right? So
Whoa.
that's why when you see things like that, my goal with all of my social media is not to tell guys don't get in relationships, don't get married. Absolutely, if you want to do that, by all means. I don't tell anyone what to do, but do so with your eyes wide open. Know that what happened to Jim can happen to you. And I've like I said, I talk to thousands of men. I get so many comments from either through direct messaging or emails or in person from guys that are just devastated. I see the stuff that most people in society never see. I hear
Yeah.
the stories, and I try and retell some of them because, again, I am pro marriage. I hope everyone finds that perfect person to be with. I believe in that. Call me, living in fantasy. I don't know. I think we're all better as human beings when we do have that. The issue is, and it's one that needs to be said, is right now as things stand, it's dangerous for men because all she's got to go is say, "I'm bored. I'm done with you. Get out," and she'll get it.
So basically, you're saying that I think it's from what Dan is saying. You understand that it has to be with fear and the things that are surrounding the implications and the tragedies and the stories you hear makes it more difficult for the men to want to go into committed relationship or marriage or stuff like that. But like what I'm saying, what I'm trying to get in this. But one thing you have to understand is that you have to understand how to deal with your relationship as an individual, because usually there are two different people coming together. So it might not work for Paul, it might work for Peter. So because it didn't work for Paul, doesn't mean that it's not going to work for Peter. So you have to learn from the mistake from Paul and use that to work for yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a commercial break before we come back and keep learning from Paul.
Hi, so glad you are here with us today in Chat Room with Mex. I am Kay and I hope you are having fun. Please subscribe, like, and lastly share. We need to let the world know what we are enjoying here today in the chat room. Now let's go back to the show.
So I want to thank you for being here right now. Thank you for watching, and thank you for keep sharing, because the numbers is going up. Keep sharing and sharing and sharing, please. Okay.
And I see the comments.
And we're seeing the comments, and we're going to take some comments right now, and then we're going to also open the phone line so that you can call in, and all the ladies ask your questions, all the men ask your questions. Okay. Dan is here for all of us. All right. And as Dana said, he's pro-marriage, okay? So don't come and be saying Dan doesn't want to get
exactly.
So let's take this comment from Bethan. Bethan Codrington is in the house. Welcome, Bethan. She says, so I believe this is an answer to the question of why men are scared of getting married or getting in relationships. And she said because because they are not being trained up in the way of respect, responsibility, ECT, both men and women. Okay.
I will tell you right now, I could not agree more with that statement. That is 100% spot on.
So let's stay on this statement and let's ask ourselves, how were they supposed to have been trained in a way of not being afraid to go into relationships, or ways to avoid all those craziness in a relationship or in marriages? How?
Well, first of all, it starts with the fact that we have to accept is that the family structure in at least Western civilization has been pretty much torn apart, right?
Yeah.
Fatherlessness is what I'm talking about. And also in the other thing I mentioned earlier, we don't communicate at all. We communicate through these things, the phones, right? We don't communicate face to face. So that statement that Bethan's made, the respect, responsibility, you're not going to learn that by talking to someone on a phone. And the thing that people don't realize, and again, I'm not knocking mothers in any way, but that's respect, responsibility. That is primarily what dads teach, right? Dads hold children accountable for things like that. You're going to respect, you're going to accept responsibility. Mothers are more on the nurturing side, and that's a good thing, right? And that's why I always say we need to be together, because children benefit when you see both sides of it. The issue we've had for the last 50 years, and it's going to keep growing, is we've removed fathers from the home. So they're even if your dad post-divorce or post-separation is actively involved, at least in the United States, on average, he's only getting about 15% of the week with the children. If you actually look at what's known as standard order every other weekend, and I call it the pizza date once a week, right? At night for dinner, one night. That's not enough to really impart. I don't care how good the dad is. And I've been both the child of divorce and through 2 divorces and lived and done everything I could. dads can't impart that respect, that wisdom, that, you know, if you screw up, you're going to take responsibility for it.
Yeah.
You know, and moms, a perfect story. I don't know if you know who Warren Farrell is. He's an author who has spoken out on men's issues. He used to be on the board for NOW, the National Organization of Women, back in the 70s. He wrote a book a few years ago about boys and the issues they're dealing with. And he talked in that how the difference between the way fathers raise children and the way mothers raise children. And fathers are the quote unquote disciplinarian, the one that's going to be more holding them accountable. Are there exceptions on both sides? Absolutely there are. But in general is what we're talking about. And that's what's been lost, is that dad going, you know what? You screwed up. You're going to, whatever the penance might be, grounded, phone taken, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Moms will go, if you do it again, I'm going to take that phone away. And then, well, you did it twice, but if you do it again, I'm going to take that phone away. Whereas dad will do it on the first time. Your phone's gone. And I saw that when I was raising my children. And again, that's not a plus or minus to either one. It's who we are, and that why when we work together, anything's possible.
True. Okay, so before we continue, I want to take this comment. I want to take this comment real quick.
There was something he said I want to just say before, just
okay,
like
go
that,
ahead.
and then I will leave you guys alone. He says, so he was talking about removing parents from the home. So what I want to say to that is that think critically before you remove fathers from the home. Those of you that are responsible for removing fathers from the home.
Okay. Wow. Okay. That's nice. Yeah. That's hot. I want to take this comment. So I want to welcome our one and only, we call her our mother. She's a great woman of God. Welcome, Prophetess Bola Olajide. Welcome to the show. Building. Yes, welcome to the show. She said, Lord, bring fathers back into our homes in Jesus' name.
As if I knew she was going to say that.
Yeah. Maybe you saw the comment.
No, I didn't see the comment. Real.
I know you didn't. She furthermore says, Lord have mercy. I believe that's comment to what you were saying, sir. So in this case, you guys can see Stanley is just quiet. What Stanley does in the show is he will keep quiet, assimilate everybody's point, and then begin to strike with his question. Whenever you're ready.
I guess I'll jump in at this point.
Go ahead.
Let me start with this, Dan. I'll give a title to that clip that was played, if you will, please, just in case it's not been titled. You can't eat your cake and have it. That's how I'll title that.
I like that.
Now, you know, believe it or not, I can't agree more with everything that you've said. I've been listening. I wanted to see where you're coming from and why you made the comments you made. I don't have any questions, but I've got some buttressing points to make. Minister Metz asked a question: why are men hesitant to committing to a relationship that will lead to marriage? And Dan, you spoke about something that I've been thinking about, but you coined it in two words that make sense: logical reasoning and emotional reasoning. The why is, ladies these days are expecting men to switch roles. They want men to think emotionally why they think logically. But it's a shoe that cannot be worn. You know, it can't fit. It's like putting a square peg in a round hole. It will not work in any way. And just like you rightly said, that's how we are programmed from the get-go. We think logically, they think more emotionally. Not to diminish them, like you said. I agree that sometimes they need to apply some sort of logical reasoning, but it's not the way we approach it. So now, for guys who are hesitant, you want me to be a certain way, but at the same time, it doesn't seem like you really want me to be that way.
Yeah.
You want me to think that way and act that way, but it looked like it's a test. If I do it, and I've seen many relationships this way, and it's a common phrase I've heard from ladies: he's too weak. If he does what you want him to do, if he thinks like you want him to think, if he acts like you want him to act, their quick response to why they either step out or disrespect him or do things otherwise is he's too weak. I can't handle that.
And when
Oh,
you do what you're supposed to do, he's too masculine.
it's too masculine.
He's too aggressive.
Is
It's that catch
aggressive.
22 that they set up, and it's a no win for the guys. And guys have finally, by the way, took us a while, realized that.
Yeah.
And then I'll end with this. I see this whole thing as a test. Every sector or every facet of human existence is being played on as we speak by a few folks who have the authority or power to do it. From finance to medicine to biology to relationships. Think about it. It's like a couple of people are just sitting down somewhere and say, let's change this and this and this and see what it looks like. See the kind of result we'll get. Play it this way, put that in here, make it law, and let's see how it affects society. If it works in our favor, then yes, we'll implement it. But if it doesn't, we'll pull it out. Or if there is a trend they see that will not benefit them, they try to screw it up, excuse my language, by making these laws and changes that will cut it down. So for example, if I am making a lot of money and I want to break out of a certain bracket and get into a higher bracket, and they see me as a threat, they throw something in there that will limit me or cut me down and try to slow my rate of progression. So men and women alike need to know that these things actually are outside the norm. And like someone said, education from childhood, being raised, training is key and important, that we have to be taught what the norm and acceptable values are. So when we get out there, we know when things are being changed and we are being fed with what we know would not hold strong the fort that we have. I'll end there for now.
Sure. So for me, right, this is what I think. I always ask myself this question. Where do we now draw the line? Where do we draw the line? Because like Dan said, men women are expecting men to be a certain way, like Stanley also rightfully said. That is also happening, where women are expecting men to be soft and men to be calm and men to be this. Now, with that happening, it tips the scale. So the more we keep trying to balance the scale from what it originally was, because try to think back over the years, the more you keep trying to balance the scale, the more the scale is being tipped to the opposite end. It's never balanced. It's never balanced, and it's just worse. Let's go into the religious side of it. In religion, they would say religion is encouraging women to be under the man and subject to the man, and the women don't want that.
Submissive.
We have more independent women now, and now the independent women are so quick, excuse my language, to leave the marriage, because if I can take care of myself and my children, if I can afford everything my child and I need, why am I married to a man? Why do I need a man to take care of me? That's the statement I hear most of the time, especially from the famous streets of TikTok. And the reason why I'm bringing up TikTok here is because if you want to know how people reason these days, go to TikTok, go to Twitter, all these apps that are like out there, go there and you will see how people really reason. Nobody wants to get married anymore. The girls are scared of getting married because what's the use of getting married if they'll just get married and get divorced? Someone would get married because they have a butterfly feeling in their belly. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I love this guy. I think I love this guy. Now, I think that's where we now have to go into a clear definition of what is love. What is love? That feeling. Should you marry based on because you just feel love for that person? Is that why you should be getting married? So to all the gentlemen here, do you think that love is enough to make a person or lead a person towards a relationship that is gearing towards marriage or not?
Love is not enough. It takes more than love to build a family. not just love, love and understanding and patience and good communication. Because you can love somebody and you don't have the good quality of communication, that love dies so quick.
Okay.
It dies a premature death quickly.
Okay.
So it's very important that you know how to communicate and understand one another. Don't look down on one another. And sometimes we tend to expect too much from each other.
True.
So I like
Very
Dan
true.
rightly said, when the woman says, "Oh, you're not doing this," then the man starts doing it. "Oh, you're not providing," the man goes to work a lot. And, "Oh, you work too much." Hey, excuse me, what do you want? Do you want him just to stay home? "Oh, I want you to balance it." Okay, you balance it, then the money is not forthcoming much. Say, "Oh, just look at what the other guy is doing better than you. He's trying to meet up and he's not home." But then you want him to do all these things that is impossible. That's why we have to understand that communication, understanding, and common sense. It's not really common. It's very important when it comes to applying in a relationship.
Sure. All right, Dan.
Yeah, well, first of all, you stole my answer, which was communication.
I expected him to do that.
Yeah.
Of course. That's why he jumped on it.
Yeah. Let me step back for a second. First of all, you've got to define what love is, right? And my definition of love is it's different for everybody. What that might be, right? There is the physical aspect, right? Getting the pheromones and the hormones going through our brain and our body, right? That's part of it. There's the interplay. How do we get along? Are we friends? Are we able to communicate? Right? Stuff like that. There's a whole breadth there, and it's different for everybody. But I do bring it down to a couple of simple things. One, are we able to communicate? That to me is the number one.
That's huge.
I don't care how good a relationship you have, how much you're physically attracted, how friendly you are with each other. None of that will matter if you can't communicate.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And that's been, as I said earlier, been lost. It's a lost art. And it's something that honestly at this point I don't know how to fix, because to your point about TikTok is the town square now, right? TikTok, Instagram, any social media. That's the town square. As opposed to I'm 60 years old. When I was growing up, you wanted to see your friends, you picked up the phone, "Hey, meet me at the ball yard at 3," right? Text, that interpersonal connection. It's communicating, yes, to text. It's not communicating as humans. It's communicating as machines effectively. So that's my answer with it. So we kind of dovetailed on that.
Yeah. All right. Stanley, will your answer be within this around the same line?
Well, it's different because
okay.
I think we all look at love as a single entity, as the part of the ingredient. Love is everything it's what holds all the ingredient together. It encompasses everything. We really do not understand what love is. It's not a single entity. That love covers everything we just talked about. If you truly love, you will know how to communicate. You will know how to rationalize. You will know how to interact. You will know how to see and view your partner or your wife or spouse. But because we think that love is just, okay, there's love, there's money, there's communication, there's emotion. So if you take love out, perhaps one of these other could hold the relationship. But it's not. Love actually covers every single one of them.
Yeah.
And we have not been able to fully express or get to that point where we express love as it ought to be.
Okay. Thank you very much. We're going to take this comment. We have some comments coming in as we're talking. Guys, we're going to be opening the phone line very soon. So you guys can call in and, verbally express yourselves. I believe that's more interesting. So let's begin with this particular comment. Okay. Prophetess said, if you don't put in work in your marriage cannot, if you don't put in work in your marriage, it cannot stand, and both parties need to put in work. Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Correct.
Ina Willibard is in the house. Welcome, Ina. She says, I agree with communication, but what triggers conflict is the how people communicate. Okay. Bethan says, I've been working on it for 19 years. Please tell us how that work has been. Has it been easy? Okay. Ngozi is in the house, everybody. Ngozi says, I think women just want men who are able to notice the subtle difference and changes in them. Prioritize them, include them in your dictate, balancing act through communication.
Vice versa.
Okay. Okay. Ina says, and what is communication? Because some they communicate but emotionally abuse. Okay. Dan Davis in the house, he says, wow. So this is what I want to say before we continue, right? We've talked about this on the show before, where we asked a question, and the question was, what is more important between communication and understanding? Which is more important? You know, because if it's communication and everybody's going communicate, everybody communicates. I'm sorry.
Correct.
Everybody communicates. But how do you communicate?
Are you communicating?
Yeah, how do you communicate?
Are you actually communicating? Because sometimes you can be communicating, but you're not communicating.
No, you can. We are communicating right now.
But you're not communicating.
If I shout on you right now, I'm still communicating.
But the reason why I'm saying that is that you can be communicating to me, but you're not communicating. Why? Because I might not understand what you're saying.
But at the end of the day, I'm communicating.
But then me, I think you're not communicating.
That's because you're not understanding my communication. See what we're talking about?
You see what we just did now?
That's exactly what happens. Let's take this comment. Let's take this comment from Uzovik. Uzovik says, no matter what the guy does, women are never satisfied. A guy can do 99 things right, but what the woman pays attention to is that one thing he didn't do right. Come on, ladies. Come on, ladies, give us a break.
I think Victor watches my videos. That's my line.
I know.
I have said that dozens of times in my videos. So Victor, 2 thumbs up, my friend.
In fact, what we initially discussed about titling this show was, what do women want? What do women want?
So women, are you there? Tell us what
they don't even know what they want. So how the heck are we supposed to know?
I know. So Uzavi continues. He says, I just think women don't know what they want. They are confused. Women, are you confused? We need to see your comments. Okay.
Them Victor's. Oh, those are fight words.
I know. Please, my wife, I didn't say you are confused. It's Victor. They said they are Igbo are confused. All the women are confused. Ngozi said, they go hand in hand in marriage. Okay. Healthy Jesse Chops said, yeah, so we are scared of getting married because the men are no longer real. What are you talking about? The women are not even real.
I would say it's the opposite. And
it's the opposite.
But this talks about the point I made earlier. See how that statement from a woman, she truly believes that. And you know what? It's a valid belief. We believe the opposite. Guess what? It's a valid belief. We are more the same than we are different.
True.
It goes back to what you're saying. We aren't communicating, and therefore, without communication, we can never understand each other. See how I put that all together for you?
Perfect. See, there you go. I was communicating, and you were not understanding. You were trying to communicate back. You were busy yelling, and I didn't give it. I didn't care.
And it has to do with good communication.
Yeah,
good communication.
Levy's Kitchen said, I agree with you both with the communication side of it. I was horrible at communicating. I keep mute for as long as I'm upset, but thank God for his word and some friends that always tell me what to do or the truth. Yeah, so I'm growing from that nonsense. Okay, we're glad ladies are accepting the whole thing. Bertha says, men don't think before they speak.
Wow. Okay.
Want me to jump in on that one?
Hold on, Dan. Hold on, Dan. Hold on. We have an impromptu guest on the show.
Exactly.
Come back here. Come back here.
Come here.
We have an impromptu guest on the show.
She's
ladies and
manifesting-
gentlemen,
she's manifesting behind the
she's
scene.
manifesting behind the scene. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen, please and please keep
Pretty
sharing.
honey.
I'm not introduced yet now. You'll have to learn to communicate, Sam. So what's your problem? Ladies and gentlemen, please keep sharing. Okay, we're gonna take this.
You just behave like a woman that is oppressing you.
Men talk really fast and they don't think before they talk. So, ladies and gentlemen, please and please, let's keep sharing. Let's keep sharing. We're gonna go on a quick commercial break and then we'll be right back to continue. Okay.
What's poppin', beautiful and handsome people? You already know it's your girl, Pretty Yanni, and I'm the host for Hot Set with Pretty Yanni. You're now tuned in and listening to Chat Room with Mex. Enjoy.
Gentlemen, welcome to the show, Pretty Yanni. This is Pretty Yanni. Welcome to the show. Where's your mic? We'll share mic. We'll share mic.
Okay.
Yeah. Impromptu guest visit. So, Pretty Yanni, you've heard everything we've been saying. What do you think?
Catching fire.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about everything we've been saying so far?
That's a great question.
Talk like a.
That's a great question, and I do agree with majority of the comments, to be honest. However, I just think that do you guys really want to know how I really
Yes,
feel?
you should be free. Don't be afraid.
Well, I will talk from this generation, to be honest. I believe that our generation is definitely messed up. I really don't know what's going on. Of course, some people are also right with the fact that maybe the training at home and whatnot, like the fathers need to come back home and whatnot. But speaking from my generation and the Gen Zs, there's so much going on.
So, question. Why do you think your generation are hesitant to go into a real committed marriage, into a real committed relationship leading to marriage?
I think social media is definitely one of the tools. A lot of people are sharing all this false information in a way. I think a lot of, if I was to talk about ladies as well, there's like so much expectation from the man's side. It's like, you have to do this, you have to do that. I can't do anything 50-50. You have to be responsible for this. There's just a lot. And I just feel like there's just so much false information out there. If we can, go back to how things used to be. I'm not saying you shouldn't have a say, you shouldn't, but it's whatever works for you and your man,
Okay, so there is this question that because I had to go on the streets of TikTok again. I'm an FYP fan. Dan knows everything about FYP.
Yeah.
I'm an FYP
FYP.
fan. I have my throne. On FYP on TikTok assigned to me. And you have no idea, right? You see? Yeah. So on that FYP page, I usually would conduct my research and I ask Gen Zs.
I'm a
What?
millennial. No, I'm a millennial.
Okay. I asked this question. And I dare ask you this question. How do you feel when you go out on a first date with a guy and the guy asks you, what do you bring to the table?
Oh my God, why would you say
That-
You are a brave man.
Right? He's a very brave man.
You are a
Oh
very
my
brave
God.
man.
I like that he said that. Okay, so yeah, I've actually been asked that question before on
There
a
you
date.
go.
What do you bring to the table? Damn.
So how did that make you feel?
Man, I really don't. I can't really say, but at the time I didn't think that it was a big deal, to be honest. But when I spoke about this with my friends or brought it up to some people, it was kind of like, why would he ask that question? Da, 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 But I also think it depends on my own, like, I don't know, would that be
too aggressive?
Well, that's unfortunately the reason why I brought this question is because that's the kind of question that
No, I'm not
people.
talking about you. I'm
That's
talking
what-
about the
No,
question.
yeah, that's
what men
why
are doing now.
that's what men are
That's
doing
what men
now.
are doing
Men
now.
that want to go into a relationship.
Let me jump in here. 'cause
ahead.
Yeah, let me
All
jump
right,
in. Yeah.
you're making a really good point. So
Mhm.
you talked to your friends and asked them, why did he say that, right? Why did he
Yeah.
ask you that?
Mhm.
And I'm assuming your friends are female, correct?
Yes.
Did you ask any guy why he said it? Not the guy, any other men.
So no, I believe I spoke to my coworkers about
Okay.
it, men coworker.
What did he
And
say? Just out of
and they were
curiosity.
just like, "Oh, why would he ask that question?" That's what they said too. So it's kind of like I said, I feel like it's based off of like people's opinion or perception, or like it
You're
goes both ways in a
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Now again, I'm going to generalize here. There are exceptions, okay?
Okay.
He's literally asking you, what are you bringing to the table? Because he doesn't know. Men think logically. So this is a difference between the way they think, and it's not a negative to either side, okay?
Yeah.
He's literally in his mind going, well, what is she offering me if I offer her whatever, right? Love, marriage, whatever. All right. Women will listen to that and go, well, what does he mean? What's the meaning behind that? There's got to be something else. No, he's literally asking you, what are you bringing? He wants a list. That's how guys think.
But is that even a thing? Because I mean, I know that there's like jokes circulating where people are like, "I'm the table," you know what I mean? But what's the actual table? That's why I said it goes both ways in a way. But at the same time, it's like, okay, like, what's the point of that? Like, isn't men the provider?
I think I have an answer to that question. I think
Isn't men the provider though?
I think the man. I think that question must have come from some kind of experience the man have had.
Yep, exactly.
So he wants to correct it now. That I want to start a new one with this one. If she's not bringing something in, then I'm not ready to commit everything in.
But you see, I feel like that's the problem. It's kind of like that's why you get to know people. It's not a question that you just throw at them.
So to Dan's point earlier on, right?
Yeah.
This goes to show that there is a problem, a big problem.
I think they're watching too
with
much
both
podcasts.
parties, with both parties, because of so there are different ways that you can have PTSD. You can have inherited PTSD. You understand? A lot of people have gotten traumatized, not even from their past experiences, but from other people's past experiences, and they've now decided to make a change based on that person's past experience, and that's influencing their decisions today. And with that happening, that's only causing more trouble, because this particular lady you're about to date, or this particular guy you're about to date, has never done anything to you. Why not come with a clean mind and clean slate and talk and think?
I agree to that.
No, everybody comes with, this guy did this to my friend, this guy did that to my other friend, and everybody is against instead of being yourself. So now that's why you will hear something like, what did you bring to the table? I never asked that question. I know men of my time never asked that question. Go ahead, Stanley.
You know what? It's a single word, contract. That's where we are now. We're at that stage where any two opposite sex that have any inclination that they want to get close, the first thing that comes to mind is contract. That's why that question comes. What do you have to offer me? Remember, we talked about it a couple of shows back.
Is marriage a contract?
I can commit. Right. I can't commit to it. I can't have a partnership with you. It has to be a contract. What are you going to give me? What am I going to get? If I give you X, Y, Z, what are you going to give to me?
Is that conditional?
No sacrifice.
Conditional.
Yeah. All right. Let's take some comments before we
sacrifices.
Let's take some comments before we continue. Levy's Kitchen says, okay, we've read this comment. Let's begin from here. Okay, from here. Prophet has said that in the first place, without right communication, there can't be understanding. Very true. Correct. I agree with you. Yes. And Rachel always in the house, everybody.
In the building.
I know, I'm in trouble. She says, actually, a lot of women know what they want. There you go. If you continue to get attracted to the women who don't know what they want, then that's your issue to deal with. But don't generalize.
That's a good point.
That's a very, very good point, because I guess you attract the kind of people you like or you have in your head. But I don't agree 100%. Okay, go ahead, Pretty, and you read for us.
So Levy's Kitchen said, like I said, it's a serious issue. That being said, I know my gender is not even helping with situations. I think that some women also makes this issue worse.
Okay.
Ngozi said, if we know that love is sacrifice, both parties will do the needful to maintain peace in their homes.
I like that. I
Amen
like
to
that.
that.
I
Amen
like
to
that.
that. Prophetess Baller Olajide said, women want to be respected also. Respect should be reciprocal. Please. Amen to that. Amen
I
to
Amen to
agree.
that.
I agree.
that.
Bethan.
Just
Bethan just
laughing.
laughing.
Limao. Dan
Oh man.
Darby
Oh boy.
Dan Darby said it's women that don't think before they speak.
Okay.
Let me jump in. Let me jump
Sorry.
in on this. All right. Here's a point that needs to be made.
Because we're emotional.
Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead, Dan.
This is, you notice both sides are saying the same thing. The other
Yep.
side doesn't. It's not that they don't think before they speak, it's that men communicate differently than women
Than
do.
women. Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
not, they're both statements are right and wrong at the same time, right?
Yep.
It's the difference in the way we think, and that is a biological difference. I
Yeah.
don't care how much work we do, there is always going to be that difference.
Dan, I have a question for you.
Mhm.
What about when people meet a man that thinks like a woman?
There's always exceptions, right? So everybody wants to pigeonhole things into
Finish.
you have to be one or the other, and that's it. There's no
Yeah.
in between. The reality is the exact opposite. There is no one way or the other.
Mhm.
We're all somewhere in between on the spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, you know, there's black, there's white.
Yes.
Well, no one is totally, and I don't mean this in racial tones. I'm talking about in, you know, you're either black or white. People
Or
say
white,
no,
yeah.
or left or right, or
Mhm.
whatever term you want to use. No one is completely one way or the other. We're
Yeah.
all in the middle somewhere, and
Mm.
we've lost that recognition of that. We all want to pigeonhole people.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's what's happening. And people bring in, you see, no one person, no two people, no two persons are alike, in the sense that even siblings have their differences.
Even
you know?
identical twins are different.
Yeah, they're different.
Right.
Now, a lot of people will bring in their upbringing from their house, where they were brought up from, and want to make the partner or the person they're trying to date behave like that. You have to realize that we are different.
Correct.
You have to realize that you're having two different upbringings coming together to try to become one. And that's where we now have issues in marriages, because when they come together and they get married, you will see that the wife is doing something the husband does not like. And one thing that couples these days lack is patience and understanding. Nobody wants to be patient anymore. The moment those butterflies begin to die, that's why I always tell people, don't marry because of love. Yes, I said that. Sue me. Don't marry because of love. And if you, because you better not marry because of love, because that love will fade. That love will be homeostatic. Love is never a linear line. Love is homeostatic. Hold on, sir, before we miscommunicate again. Love is homeostatic. It goes up and down. It's strong, it fades. It comes back strong, it fades. It comes back strong, it fades. It's never a straight line. Hence the reason why when the love now begins to go down, you think you no longer love the person anymore. Now, when you think you no longer love the person anymore, what sustains you? What keeps you going? That's where understanding and compatibility comes in.
That's to tell you that you never.
I beg to differ in that
Me
comment.
too, because the love
Go
does
ahead.
not go anywhere.
Go
The
ahead.
love is still there.
beg
It
to
did not go
differ.
anywhere.
Exactly.
It's fade.
Love
It goes
does
down,
not-
it goes up. Go ahead.
No, it does not go down or go up. The reverse is the case. You go down and up. Love is static. It stays where it is. It's how you handle it. You are the one that change. It's not love itself. Your degree of expression of love tells how you rate it in terms of its what's the looking for? How you express it is what you use to rate or measure its up and down movement. Love is love. It doesn't change.
Exactly,
It's how you
true.
handle it
Okay.
Because when you love
that
somebody,
makes it.
Okay, hold on,
let me
hold
say
on,
this before
hold
I
on,
come in.
hold on, hold on. Everybody is talking about love now. Everybody is talking about love. I bet you have a different definition of love. Stanley has a different definition of love. Dan has a different definition of love.
Correct.
I have a different definition of love. Pretty Annie has a different definition of love. Now, Stanley, what is love to you?
Listen, love is this. To me, it is the bedrock of every expression that we have. Love breeds good communication. Love breeds understanding. Love breeds good rational thinking. Love encompasses everything. Love is not a single entity. It's not one thing that you add to the mix. It's not like Maggie you put in soup to make it sweet. Love is the bedrock. That's where everything sits on. Now, how you handle the expression of every one of these other entity around it defines how much your attachment to your opposite your partner is. So, in my opinion, love is the bedrock and foundation of everything. It's not a single entity that is included in the mix. Just like you would say, communication is not everything. Money is not everything. What do you call understanding is not everything. It all stems out of love. Love is the bedrock foundation from which every one of these things come out from.
Okay, let's take this comment from Richard O. Richard O says,
A lot of men are emotionally unintelligent.
hey,
Damn.
way.
Wow.
Keep going, keep going.
She said a lot, not all.
That's hard.
Wow, that's a huge percentage. You even remove your
That's
spectrum.
a big
I'm with
one.
you.
though,
I'm
right?
with you.
That's a big
I'm
one.
with
That's a big
you.
one.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
When communicating. Okay.
Mhm.
Let me repeat.
Mhm.
A lot of men are emotionally unintelligent. When communicating, you also need to read the room, know when to be blunt and when to be kind with your so-called truth.
Hmm.
I will
Okay.
tell you right now, any
Go
guy
ahead.
reading that, not any, but the majority of guys reading that will shut
Mhm.
down immediately based on that comment.
Yep.
Yeah.
You've just ended any chance to communicate at all
Yep.
because the assumption is made that
Yep.
his thoughts are unintelligent. You just literally told the man
That's true.
he's stupid.
Yeah, you blew it all. You just
Thank you.
Done.
Yeah.
you dropped the
Yeah.
Done
ball
at
right
that
in
point.
there.
But
Yeah.
then,
Yep.
but
We're
okay,
walking away.
why isn't
see-
why aren't you being logical?
Wait, the others have to clap for what Dan just said. The others have to clap for what Dan said. If you forget that thing.
Good one, good one.
Uh-huh.
However, why isn't why aren't men being logical right now with this comment?
No, okay, asking that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Dan,
asking
go
Dan.
ahead.
All right. We are being logical.
Yeah.
What we're seeing
Yep.
is okay. Let me parse this down. 1st
Mhm.
line: a lot of men are emotionally unintelligent. Logically, we're looking at this and going, anything we say doesn't matter at this
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
point.
Exactly. Yeah.
point.
Mhm.
All right. Now you've got when communicating, you also need to read the room. You're assuming we don't read
We
the room.
don't read the room. There you go.
All right. Know
Mhm.
when to be blunt, when to be kind with your. This is the next one. So-called truth.
So
You just
called.
literally told the man that his opinions, his feelings,
Makes no
his
sense.
ideas are irrelevant, don't matter, and he should just shut up and walk away.
Well, I'm
And
sure
I'm
this
not trying to hurt this person in any way. That's exactly what men are thinking.
wait, but I'm
Yeah.
sure this is in response to something. Though.
But this is exactly
What
what we're
talking about,
thinking,
yeah.
what we're
Gotcha.
thinking about statements like this. Yes. So let's keep going.
And I'm not trying to knock her in any way. I want to add
Mhm.
that.
Mhm,
Oh,
mhm.
got you, bro. I got
Bethan
you.
says,
I got you. Yes, social media. Women think straight. Dan Davi, speak to one. Elfie, Jesse Chops. Both are important, but the question is, how do we communicate?
okay.
David's kitchen.
Livy's Kitchen. Because they are buying all the lies on social media, that's why they are afraid to go into marriage. That's why I said the
Are you
podcast.
referring to men there
Women.
Yeah, she
or
referred
women?
No,
Yeah, that's a question I have.
to
Is it men or women?
generalizing.
General.
Yeah. Bethan said, I haven't been on a date in 45 years. Jesus. Stop calling the name of that man in vain. I wouldn't know what to do. 45 years. How old are you?
She has been married. Bethan has been on the show. Okay, keep
Oh.
going.
Okay, Elfie, we know what we want, and when we see it, we know.
How can you?
No, what you see me, we know.
We know what we want. That's
Who is
women.
we?
Women know what they want, and when they
Okay.
see it, they will know. Unfortunately, when they see it, they think they
don't usually
know.
know, though.
They think they know, and then they realize they
Yeah,
actually did not
sometimes it's
know.
just-
Some
They
of
see
them.
the surface, you
Yeah.
know, on the surface, what they want is there. But when you look at the depth, because we're all
Inside.
different,
Yeah.
it's not there. And that's part of the problem both of us have, men and women.
Women, yeah,
Exact same scenario for men as it is for women.
yeah. Okay.
That's why we wasting people's daughters' time.
Is it, what about the sons of somebody?
Let's keep going. Better says.
Somebody's daughter. Anyways, we really need to be truthful. People want to be tester instead of being in relationship. Everyone's giving it up.
True. I
You can
agree.
say it again for the
And then,
people.
yeah, they are.
Healthy.
The FYP minister makes. That's me.
Healthy. I tell them I'm here to decorate the table. So let me set the table. Let me beautify it. Oh, I'm about to start using that. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Mom, Beth, and my husband told me my butt was getting big. Do you think he thought about that?
Oh, dude. No,
Sorry,
I guess-
after he said it.
I guess.
It's coming out.
I guess. This
That's
is
funny.
justifying. This is justifying Rachel's comment.
Exactly.
This is justifying Rachel's comment. Ah.
not the
Okay,
most brilliant
okay.
of comments to
Dan,
make.
Why
No.
she
Dan,
said that? So
Dan,
you guys were generalizing.
This is what I think. Stanley, Dan, Sam's up everybody, right? This is what I think.
Like when guys
Men-
tell you you're fat, like did
No.
they think before saying it?
Yes, we're logical. We are logical, and we thought about it, and that is what it is, and that is what we said.
Wait a minute. What's that song? I like big butts. Maybe he likes that song, and he's
There you go.
trying to help the guy out because there's
I
no winning
know.
for him. Yeah, I'm trying.
Right.
So this okay, so men, right? Men think logically. We think it and we say it the way it is. We don't begin to look for emotional ways to say it.
But
Dan, hold on.
you
Hold
gotta
on,
be
sir.
careful now.
Yes, you got to be careful, but like Dan said at the beginning, women are emotional thinkers. Men are logical thinkers.
That's why you should be careful what you say to them.
Now, excuse me, sir. Would you rather prefer a man that would tell you, "Oh, honey, your butt looks just
No, you can
perfect"?
say it in a
Is it
nice
like
way.
in a blunt? You
Oh,
talking
honey,
about
your
being
butt is big. No, it's big. I like your
But it's
husband, by
true
the
though.
way.
We're very logical.
We think
we
it, we
talk
say
any
it.
sir. I'm going to do your.
But do men?
We
Do
really
men-
love to you guys
we
to
talk.
speak. I love
So
it.
so
That's why
this,
you said that.
this one thing I actually noticed, right? Some women will say, "Oh, I want a man that is soft. I want a man that is, emotional, that will tell me things the right way." And when
Anyway,
they
you
get
get
that
it.
kind of
Why are
man,
you so blunt?
they get
He's out.
so
No.
get so angry that the man is not being truthful to them, that the man is not telling them the way things are. They want a man that will
It's just
tell
because
them
they
the
just
way
want to
things
hear
are.
something they want to hear the way they
Now-
want to hear it.
Well, yeah, but at the
Yeah, a
end,
lot of
let's
us
just
are- yeah,
let's
a
keep
lot of us
taking.
are like that.
Let's keep. So, prophet has said,
Men and women are wired differently.
Mhm.
Don't ever assume you know your husband 100%.
"Yep,
You still need to invest time to get to know your spouse.
That's
That's true. I mean, I've heard that.
That is experience.
Yeah,
I mean, I've heard that. I mean, you can never know each other that well.
Experience
Yeah.
is speaking.
in fact, it's more fun when you don't know the person that much before you
Mystery.
get married.
Mystery,
Because there
I
are some mysteries that will, good mystery. If it's good mystery,
It's good mystery.
So Vic says,
There's a saying that goes, when a man starts making money, they want to take better care of their wives. But when-
Victor's been watching my videos again.
"I know."
women starts making money, they want to be independent. That's very sad and wicked. Not every woman.
No, but I made that
He's
exact
generalizing.
video about a week ago.
Yeah, see, no, he's not. It's actually majority, and not every,
Mhm.
but majority of women would fall into
But then it
that
says there's a
category.
saying. Where's that saying?
Majority, well, that's what
They
we're
got
saying.
it from there. It's a saying.
Devin-
It's a saying from-
Devney is in the house. Devney says,
Hi, Daphne. You guys should define the biblical definition of love.
"Thank you."
Oh, good.
For God
Yes.
so loved the world.
No, that's
No,
not,
no,
not that one.
Mhm.
Rachel Lou furthermore says,
Love, the feeling is never enough. Sacrifice, patience, understanding, communication, respect,
is
Yeah,
what
that is the
will-
word I was looking for.
is
Which one?
what
Respect, right?
Respect.
Okay.
That is
Yeah.
very powerful.
That's
is what
powerful.
will
Yeah.
make that relationship work.
Yeah.
Betten
Amen
says.
to that. Being with this man for 25. I thought she said 45. Oh, that's
Keep
somebody else.
going. Keep going.
Oh, and I know him. The problem is it doesn't know me.
And I'll bet if you asked him
Wow.
that same thing, he would say the exact same thing she did.
Yep. Yep.
Well,
He will say. He will say he
I
knows
know
her.
her. She doesn't know me. Guaranteed.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
Guaranteed.
I agree with that. Uzovic
keep
says.
reading.
I shall have a question after. Anyways,
Mhm.
Rachel Ho, sorry to say, but emotional intelligence don't pay the bills. Oh.
True.
We
must-
That's why when you do the
It doesn't pay the bills.
Contract.
Vegiro. Oh, Vegiro is in the house. Welcome, Vegiro.
Vegiro.
Vegiro from Nigeria.
From Nigeria.
Welcome to the show. Prophetess
Yes,
says.
love. Yes, love is all encompassing. I believe the intensity of love can be affected by certain factors.
Yep.
Hey.
Very true. Very, very true. Vegiro says.
Don't call me a first timer. I'm not. Oh, aside love being 1 Corinthians 13:4-7, love is a decision and it doesn't fade away.
You think?
Hmm.
You think?
I wanted to say something.
Please go ahead.
To
To
Victor. that
Vic's
said,
comment?
sorry to say, but emotional intelligence don't pay the bills. I was going to say
Say your mind.
Say your mind now.
it's something funny, but I was going to say there's no evidence.
Say there's no evidence. Okay. Okay.
next.
Levy's Kitchen says.
Sometimes we don't know what we want. Even when what we want is looking at us in the eyes, Seth, we still don't know sometimes.
That's true.
Confused
true.
human beings.
Very true.
Very true.
Very
Very
true.
true. Yeah. Betten says.
He was being mean. Okay.
He was being mean. Oh, Betten, no. He wasn't being mean. He was
Being
just
honest, maybe.
Yeah, he was
I
just
don't-
being honest.
I can't defend the guy.
Men love
He's-
Yeah.
I love
Okay, Levy's Kitchen furthermore says.
We're not against men saying things. Amen. But say it romantically and with
Uh-huh.
cousins.
That's what I
Don't
was
just
saying.
bluntly tell us
So
we're
again,
facts and we should stop eating food.
Fufu at night.
Oh, wait.
again,
No,
we're
no, wait,
talking
wait,
If
about
they tell you to stop eating
I-
fufu,
You're
like,
getting
I-
fat.
it's a good advice.
Okay.
oh.
I give you an example. I have a friend who this thing happened to. He said
Okay.
his wife was complaining that he doesn't speak romantically to her. So the guy from there said, "Oh, is that what I was doing that's wrong?" She said, "Yeah, it's okay. I'll start talking to you romantically now." And he started expressing it like she wanted. The first time, she was like, "Okay." Second time, and the third time he did it, she's like, "Please, can you stop this?"
Exactly. 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 Yeah.
Can you be yourself?
Thank you. Thank you.
But that's what she wanted.
So,
though.
what do women want?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
they don't know, so how can we know?
How can we? Exactly. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, Betten says,
No, you have to know the story. Redemption from the crack house to God's house.
yeah, that's a book that she wrote. And yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah, it's a nice book. Betten says,
Different type of situation.
true. Rachel O says,
That's all I was saying. You can say it with love. The way you say things makes the difference. Don't just say, "Yeah, getting fat. Go to the gym." Yeah, but okay. How is that what it's supposed to say?
Okay, say it the way man is supposed to
Oh,
say
yeah.
it.
Say it.
Me,
Mm.
I'm not married.
No, but you're a woman.
How do you
Say it
want
the way
man
man
to tell you?
should tell you you're
Yeah.
getting
I don't
fat,
know.
go to the gym.
No, break it down.
I
So
don't know.
No,
I've never
he
been
didn't
in
say
that
he didn't
situation.
he didn't say she's getting fat. There's a specific aspect he mentioned.
Okay.
Is it the
Said
same
her butt
Bettan's
was getting
aspect?
big.
Is it Bettan's aspect?
Oh no, I think I made a comment where I said, "Oh, not just saying, oh, you're getting fat." So I think that's what she said.
Okay, but this is it though. This is it, guys. This is it, guys. I want us to plead with
How would
Dan.
you say it as a guy?
I want us.
understand.
Oh, okay, let's take this
That's
comment
the
from
way the
Prophetess.
man
Yeah,
says
that's it. Mhm.
So
Let's.
we want the women to tell us.
Prophetess says.
In summary, we can never subtract God from the equation of marriage. Amen to
There
that.
you go. By the time
A
you
lot of people are
yeah.
doing things based off of the word.
Yes, very true. So Dan, we wanna ask you this question, and this will be a request. This will be a request. We've not even gone half of what we're supposed to talk about today. We haven't. We're supposed to talk about divorce. We haven't talked about divorce yet.
Oh, yeah. Tough subject.
Yes. We're supposed to talk about divorce. I have like almost 50 questions on that, talking about divorce.
Fire
Because-
away.
Yeah, that's huge.
You need to
Yes.
talk
I think that
about
would be
it.
Yes.
separate.
So yeah, that's why
And-
we want to ask
sorry.
Dan. Dan, can you please come back very soon, either next week or next 2 weeks?
Next 2 weeks I'm booked, but let's arrange a time. And yes, we will absolutely do that because I would love to do that with you.
Perfect. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been real.
Mhm.
It's
For
been real.
real.
Thank you very, very much for
Thanks for
joining
having
us
me.
today. Yeah, Pretty Annie, thank you for
Good to
coming.
have Pretty Yanni
Yes.
in the building.
Please and please just watch out for our ads, because we're going to be bringing Dan again. Dan has to come back to this show to
yes.
talk about divorce, and to make it more interesting, we're going to be having Dan, and then we're going to be having another lady
Yes.
that is a woman's right activist.
Exactly.
Amen to
Oh
that.
boy.
Oh boy.
Let's make it more interesting.
Even Stanley was telling me we should bring that lady that was Dan was responding to.
Yeah.
Oh no, we don't want to. We'll destroy the whole place. She's gonna reach out.
So to be honest with you, I have had debates with people like that, with women like that.
Yeah.
And some of them have been unbelievably fantastic. If you get two, people who can keep the emotion out of it,
yeah,
and have an honest conversation, people
Yeah.
learn from that. And that's one of the things that I try and do, even with my podcast, right? Is to get people on to have honest conversations and not bash one another, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
The other side of it, though, is you get the wrong person, it just turns into a nightmare for everyone.
Oh yeah.
Nobody benefits
But
from
I
it.
have had many debates with feminists. The thing that they don't seem to understand is that I actually am a feminist from the 70s. So I fully supported 70s feminism. There were things that needed to be addressed, inequalities that needed to be addressed. The thing is for the most part, they were addressed by roughly the mid 80s, and things changed.
True.
True. So, I would more than welcome having somebody else on. It's
nice.
I always tell things. I tell people, my famous line is, I will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Very true.
Amen
Very
to
true. So we have a question from Beth, and she says, "What's your podcast?" Please, a lot of them were not on. Just say it again.
Mine podcast is the Men Need to Be Heard show. It is on YouTube and Spotify. Just do a search on either one for Men Need to Be Heard. It should pop right up. I'm on I'm on Pandora and some other ones, but the two biggies for most people are YouTube and Spotify.
Yeah, very true. So last comment for the day, we have Jessie Chubb. She says,
It's better to know him before getting married. It's very important, ladies. Please think. I disagree.
We can do a whole show on that.
I know.
Yeah. Wait, but I
know.
wanted to add something real quick. Wait, no, sorry. So I also feel like the reason why the millennials or Gen Zs are not getting into like committed relationship to get married also has to do with divorce rate.
That's why we're going to be
And,
talking about
yeah.
divorce.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
will
we're
tell
talking
you
about
one of the
Because like
biggest,
we see a lot of that, and it's kind of like, what's the point?
one of the biggest drivers for the millennials and was it Gen? I know millennials. I don't know what the rest of them are. The reason is most of them, not most, but a very big majority of them grew up in a split household.
Yeah.
And they learned from that. They didn't. Now they're looking at it going, well, what's the benefit? Both men and women, by the way. So it's feeding on itself. Now, you want some good news? I think the pendulum has swung so far here, it's already starting to swing back. I
now
do
they
think
see
you
that.
will see marriage come back. Not in my lifetime, though.
Okay. So thank you very much, Dan. Thank you very much for coming on the show. We'll definitely be expecting you. We'll definitely schedule another day where we'll come back and talk about divorce and how divorce is affecting men, because the laws around divorce, how favorable is it to men? Because it's a horrible thing.
I can give you the short answer on that. It's not. There, we're done.
Yeah. And then in that particular topic also, we'll be talking paternity. and we're just gonna make it one big topic. Where we'll go. Right now, we've taken a lot of time. Yeah, we've taken a lot of time right now.
Stick to the topic,
but for next week, what we're gonna be talking about next week, I want to just give you a build up of this story of what happened, and we're gonna be talking about it. This man got married to this woman. They were both sexually very, very active, and then the man got a job and started working, and down the line, his sexual activity reduced. The woman was still sexually active, highly active. So one day, the guy's brother, came to visit him in the house, and immediately he came. The woman said, "Now this story is from the woman. She sent the message to this particular girl. Now, the moment she saw the brother, her below down there, began to trigger and wanted the brother." So one day, her husband went to work. She was in the shower, and you hear the rest of it next week. Guys, we'll see you next week, same time, same station. Gentlemen that are Dan, please just wait so that we'll talk after the show. Yeah, Stanley too. So thank you very much for being on the show. It's been nice. Catch you all next week.
Yes.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks.
What's popping, beautiful and handsome people?
No, that's not what's supposed to be.